Health and wellness check-in for this past week. It's Sunday, 23 November 2025, and I'm Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I check in for a week summary of my health and wellness, social, mental, and physical this past week, Monday 17 to Sunday 23 November 2025. It was a week with a focus on planning / scheduling for a stabilized and well-balanced upcoming few weeks. Yes, that was taking into account the kind of my changes in projects and being like, proceed. Now that I'm even online, like, proceed, but don't lose balance and try to stabilize the things that I've added in, and that kind of thing. And if there's any last kind of things to conclude, see if I can get those done. Like, 2003 film Elf is coming to the Cinnabar. I was like, okay, it's an age-gated theater. Not that I'm gonna order an alcoholic beverage, but I was just like, that's such a perfect movie for an age-gated movie theater. Okay, anyway, so that's the introduction and week summary. Category 1 of 3, social health. I fed the critters all of their meals, including Thanksgiving goodies. They ate the Irish soda bread. I put it out there. Stubbsy, the gray squirrel, climbed to her little, perch, and she ate piece after piece. And then, so the squirrels liked it, and then the birds liked it as well. There was one point I was in my room, and I was like looking out, and I was checking where I'd put the, the Irish soda bread down. I looked down, and there are 3 dark-eyed juncos going, and I was like, I think it's a hit. Not just with the squirrels. So that was really cool. They really liked it, and I liked it, and Kona liked it, Elvis liked it, Josh liked it, my parents liked it. It was good. Yeah, so it turned out well. There was also, my week included neighborhood friendly faces when out and about, including walk runs. Some of the regulars I saw kind of during the summer, I'm like hit and miss now, because like with the daylight hours changing, like I'm just kind of like, sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't. The regulars, so there's kind of a time in flux. Okay. Out and about was well timed and paced, and Thanksgiving 2025 proceedings. So I got a few different celebrations in this week. Last week went to Top Pot Donuts and got a pumpkin cream cheese Bismarck, and then this week I did the Irish soda bread on Wednesday, and watched the Motorcycle Diaries, and then today I did the Cheesecake Factory. And so I've done a number of things. I got a few more things this coming week, so it's been really I've punctuated Thanksgiving 2025 events. Category 2 of 3, mental health. So Thanksgiving 2025 proceedings. So I was very focused. My Elvis and Josh did have a bunch of talking points and talked about a bunch of things, which I brought up one or a few things, how about alluded to day of. I was like, is there anything? I guess there were 2 kind of things, or anything that followed. So there was one day of, they really talked about it, and I kind of like cocooned myself, ruminating about surnames. So Elvis Presley goes, my Elvis Presley, she actually is Tanis Presley. She took that name on paperwork level back on 25 December 2024, which I did put a video out that day. But it's like, my married stuff where I'm like, I don't get to see the paperwork. So I'm like, but am I actually Tanis Presley? And Josh was like, but I like Tanis Kerr. And so Josh Kerr was like, but I like Tanis Kerr and the Squirrel Infirmary and Dr. Tanis Kerr. And so Elvis was like, no. Tanis has to be like, come 1 December 2025 AD, this year. He's like, she has to make a decision on if, when she takes Tanis Presley, publicly, if she allows for all of the men named as of 1 December 2025 in her Ruminating About Surnames playlist, everybody in that playlist as of then, and they get to compete, if I say that's okay, once I have taken Tanis Presley, but not before then. So I'm thinking about that. So I'm adding additional names up to 1 December 2025 for like surnames that would be like of my soulmates I'd be okay taking. So there was one that they kind of talked about, and then thinking of, is there anything for living with? Because that kind of topic is, I'm still not living with my soulmate, significant other. It's like, it'll be fun to get started. So I have not spent so much as a single day living with my significant other or my soulmate. Whereas my parents have decades, and my sister, have been sibling, multiple years older than me, sister, she has over 10.00 years living with her significant other. So I'm like, they're all like, you know, 10.00 years or more ahead of me. So I'm like, you know, like super, I got 0.0, okay, years, 0.0 days, okay. So it was like, when I was like, well, there's a good thing. So I've spent, you know, first place for persons I've spent the most living my life with is my parents. But second place goes to my sister. I spent over 15.00 consecutive years living with her when we were growing up. Okay. So I was like, if she were ever interested in living with me, I'd be like, you know, I got, you know, this 9 by 6 foot room kind of thing. This is my home. But no, we already did that. She's supportive of me moving forward with my life. Okay. We do love each other. So there's a little bit of like, we already did that for over 15.00 consecutive years. So that's a no on space, but also no because we've already done that. All right. And then last thing for the mental, how is it going with no sacred Saturday nor weekend Wednesday? It's going well. Actually, I'm fully loaded, but I'm not overwhelmed. So I'm like, I'm getting in control. In control? I'm maintaining balance and getting better at that balancing act. All right, category 3, physical. I started menstruating 6 days early. It was like, I woke up one morning and it was like, poof. I gained like 10 pounds in a matter of like 9 hours. And I was like, it's here. Here's the flow, the blood flow. So it was I was like, different. I was like, what's going on? And then I like, you know, started menstruating. And I was like, that's what's going on. So it was a little bit of different of like, very, like, sometimes it's like tracking the days and like, here's the day. And then like, or I'm getting close. And this one was like, what's going on? And then I started bleeding and I was like, okay, so it's a little bit different in that way. I was 6 days early. In conclusion, it was a good week, and Thanksgiving is alive and well. And I ate a lot of cheesecake, good cheesecake. And really, I was like proud, like, you know, pat on the back. It's like they actually paired well. I was like, it's been a good week, and I've done eating ASMR, and I've like just done. I'm fleshing out my attempting graduate school again ? Playlist. So there's some link to some playlists in the video description. But happy health and wellness to you whenever you're viewing this and wherever you're viewing this from.